So I want to welcome everyone. People are still rolling in, but I'm going to keep going so we can stay on schedule. Very important. My name is David Goldsmith. I am co-founder and president of MedMates. It was an idea 4 years ago, and here we are today with a great celebration. I am also co-founder of 3 conjoined pharma companies up in Woonsocket, Spira Medical, Aiden Scientific, and CBD Clinic. And so I'm been a serial entrepreneur since I left Brown back in 1980, my first company, which I launched right after I left. So raise your hand if you've been involved with a startup, please. Okay, most of you. So as a startup, you know what the ups and downs are, the surprises, the left turns, the right turns, etc. MedMates is a startup. 2013, we had an idea. We sent out an email to about 50 or 60 people. Almost everybody showed up. It was at Zymedica. We had a great gathering, and everybody said, yes, the community needs this. Let's get it rolling. So we got some early money from the Rhode Island Foundation, which has been a sponsor since day one. We put together a quick board. We struggled with what we're going to call ourselves, ended up with MedMates. Are we sure we want to call ourselves MedMates? Okay, let's go. And here we are. Our mission from the beginning was to grow the life sciences economy in Rhode Island. And so we've had events through the years, we've had networking, we've connected people, there's been collaborations formed as a result of it. We now have a full-time executive director. We can do so much more. We have an expanded board of directors from the life science community and the universities, and we are ready to rock and roll. And this event was an idea last November, and we didn't get rolling on it until after our January event at the Rhode Island Quality Institute. We put together a team of about 20 people, and this is the result of it, and I'm thrilled. So this is a slide we put together a couple of years ago, and it's just been updated. You may see your company there or companies you're familiar with. This is a sampling of the companies in our life science ecosystem, the companies that are directly involved in life sciences and the companies that support that. So I'm also going to show you something here that we put together. One of our members, Marty Nemzow, who's here in the front row. There are approximately 200 companies that we've identified in the Rhode Island area, predominantly inside of our borders, that are part of the life science community. Again, either directly involved with pharmaceuticals, devices, diagnostics, health IT, et cetera, and the companies that are supporting that on the science side. And so a blow-up of this is in the next to the checkout area where you first came in. I invite everyone to go there, find out, if you're in life sciences, are you listed? If you're not, there's an opportunity to add your name. If there's incorrect information or you're categorized incorrectly, opportunity to modify, and so we can get it right. If there's a company that you know of that's not here that should be on this list, we want to have as complete an inventory of all the life science companies within our borders as possible. With that said, clearly the Rhode Island life science ecosystem is not in and of itself within our borders. We are a part of the greater Boston hub. A lot of people that live here, work there, or live in between, live in Massachusetts and work here, want to work here. So this is something we put together, but it's Rhode Island centric for now. I think that's the one. Okay. When we conceived of the EXPO, it was to showcase the breakthrough innovations, the collaboration, the impact that this community is having. And that is a growing impact. So we're a fledgling organization with big dreams. As we know from the Brookings study, life sciences has been identified as a key economic sector in this state. We're collaborating with the universities, with commerce, with the state, and we have a lot of opportunity to advocate for life sciences, to build resources for the life science community, to attract capital, and all the things that will help grow the sector. In an interview recently, I talked about the confluence of growing life science companies and attracting. And it's my belief that the stronger our community is, the more tightly we are bound, the companies that are already here, collaborating together and becoming a more vibrant life science ecosystem, the stronger the attraction for companies to be here. Because they don't want to just be here because, it's cheaper rent. They want to come here because it's a great life science community. And so part of what we're building here is a community. I know that's a key objective for Wexford and the Cambridge Innovation Center, and that's what we're here to accomplish, is to be the village and to grow this sector. So, how many people do we think we have registered for this event? When we thought of this event, we said, maybe 100, 150, 150, you think we can do that? We're over 300 people registered for this event. We have 30 exhibitors. We've had 20 volunteers. This is how it happened. It happened because people came together, because it is a vibrant community. People wanted to be a part of it, and this is the result of it. So, guys, this is only the beginning. I want to specifically identify the EXPO planning team, because these are just rock stars that have put in a lot of time. Some of these people have put in part of every day over the past, 3-4 months. Don Frege from Feeney Law Group. Barbara Rosengren from the Brown University School of Professional Studies. Tom Hutchinson, retired from Bard Davol, recently retired. Patrice Milos from Medley Genomics. AJ Vincelli, PhD student, previously from Epivax. Judy Isaacson from Vital Now Consulting. Charlie Hewitt, a consultant previously from the Rhode Island Quality Institute. Christina Apostle from Zymetica. Tracy McNeil from Zymetica. Martin Nemzow from the Hope Floats Fund. Susan Casey from Rogers University. Daniel Brown from Smart Management. Andrew Mallon from Callista Therapeutics. Francisco Portella from Portella Sony Medical. Peter Lucas from JH Communications. Sarah Laro and Bob Bretschemile from SVM Marketing and PR. Myself and Carol Malice, our Executive Director. I would ask you to give a round of applause for all these volunteers. In addition, we've had 18 sponsors, as I said. Presenting sponsor, BIO, the international organization that will be speaking shortly. Platinum sponsors, Rhode Island Foundation, Zymetica, Blum Shapiro. Gold sponsors, University of Rhode Island, George and Ann Ryan Institute for Neuroscience, Feeney Law Group, and Aspera Medical. Silver sponsors, Napsis, Hinkley Allen, Epivax, Virgin Pulse, Pfizer, Vital Now, SVM, Medley Genomics, JH Communications, and TechMedica, division of Allied Group. And our media sponsor was Providence Business News. And again, applause for our sponsors, please. And 30 exhibitors. Again, wow. We set some high goals, and some people said, I don't know, maybe 10 exhibitors, 15. We've had exhibitors as late as yesterday said, I want to be in as well. Please visit every single exhibitor. This is exciting things going on here. We also have a Startup Central that's right outside of this wall here that we put together, and it's a group of 14 organizations that are all directly involved with helping companies to get off the ground. And so for anybody in the startup sphere, this will be not only for today, but the Startup Central activity and endeavor will be ongoing and will be also enabled on the MedMates website. So we'll be building resources readily available to any company in Rhode Island that wants to get going off the ground, or that's already off the ground and needs further lifting. We also have a student hub just outside next to the check-in area, and that area is for students. How many students are we up to? Close to 100 students registered, and that is specifically to help them, students in life sciences and biotech and other areas, for resume review, mock interviews, really to help them gear up to be hired in the life science community in Rhode Island. These are from all the schools locally. After the Expo, we have a number of initiatives going forward, driven by the MedMates Board of Directors in advocacy, in resource building, in community building, and steps to attract capital. Again, it takes a village. None of this would have been possible without our full-time executive director, Carol Malice. So I've known Carol for probably about 20 years. She was in economic development at the state level. She was a founder and manager of the Center for Women and Enterprise that was dedicated to helping women get into starting businesses, learning how from zero, how to write a business plan, how to clarify your objectives, how to identify who your customers are, everything that's involved with getting a startup up and off the ground. And she ran that for a number of years, and then moved into leadership development training, working consulting firm in Boston. She comes to us with a great background in nonprofit management, board development, organization development, fundraising. So we are thrilled to have her on board. This event would never have happened without her driving this and orchestrating the active member volunteers. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Carol Malice.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's so wonderful to have you here today. And I just can't tell you how exciting it's been to work with all the volunteers and to work with David and the board to make this event happen today. So I'm going to talk a little bit about opportunity this morning. This is really an exciting time for Rhode Island and for Rhode Island bioscience, and MedMates is being very instrumental in making a lot of things happen related to that part of our economy. The bioscience sector represents a significant part of the future economy here in Rhode Island, and our expanded business base will happen by the organizations creating new drugs and services and devices that ultimately improve human health. We are working to ensure that large and small companies, entrepreneurs, and mentors connect, that resources, talent, and experts convene, and that we build a robust and vibrant economy here in Rhode Island. The medtech industry is growing in Rhode Island, and it encompasses a wide range of healthcare products used to diagnose, monitor, or treat diseases and medical conditions affecting all human life. So some of those technologies are intended to improve the quality of healthcare delivered through earlier diagnoses, less invasive treatments, and reductions in hospital stays. So recent advances in medical technology have also demonstrated great cost reduction. We have a thriving community on the cutting edge of medical devices, information technology, biotech, and healthcare services here in Rhode Island. And among those Rhode Island companies featured in those areas are CareThread, which is involved in secured genome mapping using solid-state nanodetectors. Pharmaceutical companies like David's, Aiden Scientific, and Aspira Medical that develop and manufacture topical medications for dermatology and wound care. And medical device companies like Rhode Island Limb that create prosthetics and orthotics, while Illuminos makes orthopedic fracture repair products that leverage proprietary bone stabilization technology. And Zymedica, it's one of the leading companies in the world developing medical products on a contract basis. To remain competitive, Rhode Island has to build on the successes of these companies, and our strongest assets to do so are our public and private universities, our medical center, our brand new incubator, Bioscience, and our talented graduates, researchers, and entrepreneurs working in the life sciences. Our plan for growing our life science economy will take a long-term commitment. We will need strong alliances with business, labor, academic, and nonprofit leaders. We will need to push back on budget cuts that will deter innovation and slow advancement in science and medical research. We will need to build collaborative partnerships that leverage our assets and that position us for a prosperous future. As we look forward, we look at the strengths, the assets, the opportunities. Among those opportunities is our new affiliation with BIO. This is an international biotechnology organization that represents more than 1,100 biotechnology companies, academic institutions, state biotechnology centers, and related organizations across the U.S. and internationally. BIO members are involved in the research and development of industrial and environmental biotechnology products. We are so pleased to have BIO support as a presenting sponsor for this event. In fact, BIO was the very first sponsor to sign on when we started this event 3 months ago, so we're very appreciative of their support. And with our BIO membership, it will give us a chance to expand the member services that we have for MedMates members and to create more advocacy on behalf of the life science community here in Rhode Island. So it gives me great pleasure to announce this partnership today and to introduce BIO's regional representative, John Heffernan. John is going to share a few words with us. John has spent more than 10 years at the helm of MassBio and is coming to us today as a consultant working in this space in advocacy in the life science industry. So as we look at growing the MedMates organization, John has kindly offered to help us to do that, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce him today. John Heffernan.
Thank you, Carol. Just one clarification. I wasn't at the helm. I was second in command, so anyone can go back and tell Bob Coughlin that that's the case. But thank you very much. It's really an honor to be here, and I'm really excited. We had some good conversations before the event, and as Carol mentioned, I was at MassBio for just under 10 years, and it was really a great experience. We were able to participate with BIO, but also kind of do our own thing. And I think that that's the good balance that we would want to achieve here. I do represent MassBio still, and I'm doing some work with BIO regionally, as Carol mentioned, mainly on the lobbying and advocacy side. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but I did want to talk about BIO and the Biotechnology Innovation Organization. As folks know, it used to be the Biotechnology Industry Organization and made a conscious effort to change the name because they understood that they really needed to focus on the innovation and focus on organizations like this that represent companies like yours, companies and institutions, and represent the full ecosystem similar to what's happening in Rhode Island. So we're thrilled to be part of that. We're going to continue to work with Carol on kind of getting Rhode Island more MedMates more involved with BIO's Council of Bioscience Associations, and we have some meetings where we share a lot of best practices, and I think there are some great opportunities. You have all the ingredients here. There's been a little bit of a void, and as was mentioned earlier, the proximity to Boston is both, you know, folks kind of, you might feel like you're in the shadow, but utilizing that proximity and creating more of a regional approach, because it isn't Boston. It's actually expanding, as folks know, to the 495 area, to Worcester, and to Western Massachusetts. So that kind of an expansion and acknowledgement that these the great ideas that are coming out of the institutions right here in Rhode Island, those can grow, and those connections can be made with the larger biopharmaceutical medical device companies that are out there looking for those new ideas and looking for that pipeline. So BIO is very excited for this opportunity to work with your organization. I think it's a great opportunity, and as I said, you have all the ingredients. I think it's really important to really use this and build on this momentum, and we have some upcoming events that are happening where we kind of get all together, get all the state associations together and share those best practices. But one thing I wanted to mention to folks also is that the BIO convention is this year in San Diego, that I'm sure some of you are attending, June 19th to the 22nd, but then next year we'll be up in Boston, And I think that's a good opportunity to kind of showcase the progress that's been made down here in organizing this ecosystem. So really, I just want to wish you the best of luck in moving forward, and I know BIO is very excited about this relationship and wants to be a partner with you. Wanted to talk a little bit about the role that BIO plays, but also kind of how we could play that role together. And the main objective is really just a resource. We understand the industry. We understand the challenges that the startup community faces. So trying to connect those folks and get those folks together is always something that we try to do. One of the big pieces that I wanted to mention was education and advocacy. So really, folks call it lobbying, but it's really important to understand that there are things that are happening both at the federal and state level that are sometimes more reactionary and sometimes kind of a knee-jerk reaction to some of the issues that we're faced with rising healthcare costs. And sometimes the finger pointing begins, and when they're talking about drug prices and things like that and tweeting about those things, it's very difficult for us as an industry to sit folks down and kind of educate them on the drug discovery process. We're kind of, it's not a fair playing field. And so it's really up to us to understand that it's not as simple as just making prices lower. It's really kind of educating folks on what actually goes into it. How much time it takes, and how much resources it takes, and how challenging it is, and what you face. So, kind of, we really want to make sure that we're able to educate you on try to advocate, and but also educate legislators and other folks on our industry and how it works. I think that another piece is that we want to focus on, and that you've actually been very successful in it, and it sounds like there's some great work being done, but on workforce development. One of the main focuses obviously is economic development and creating jobs, and those jobs are growing, and BIO can help you kind of promote that piece of it. But the key is, how do we fill those jobs that we're creating? And how do we get down to, even in the middle school level, and incorporate biotechnology, life sciences into the science curriculum? It's really important because it's really not about us, it's about that next generation. So I think that there's some great opportunities, and I think that BIO really is excited to play. The one thing I want to leave you with is the importance, and this is the one thing that you all understand, and that everyone has been impacted by this, whether personally or with their family or with friends, is that what we do, what you do, I actually don't do it, what you do is really important, and it's really important to patients that many of them are suffering, and many of them are now have the ability to get access to these innovative and life-improving, life-changing, and in some of the new things that are out there, cures for some of the things that they're suffering for. So I really want to commend you on your work. You're an inspiration to me, and that's why I love being part of this industry. And I just wanted to thank you very much for your time, and I wish you well. And BIO is here to help you as you move forward. So thank you.
So we're very pleased to have BIO here and to participate in their annual conference coming up. And we hope that this relationship will really broaden and deepen our reach within Rhode Island with all the life science companies. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies, Tom Hutchinson.
Thank you. Hello. So on behalf of the EXPO Planning Committee, really happy that you're all here today. I've got the enviable position of trying to keep us on time through the rest of the afternoon through all the panels and all the invited speakers. So that's my role, and I volunteered for it. No pressure there at all. We are waiting for Secretary Pryor to be here. He is in the car on the way.
He's actually in the lobby.
He is in the lobby. We also, I believe we have some slides to put up for his presentation as well. So if you can just sit tight with us for a couple of minutes, and I think he was actually supposed to start speaking at 1:30, so we are almost perfectly on time. So if you just hold with us for a couple of minutes, as soon as he's here, then we'll start with his presentation. Immediately following his presentation, then we will start with the very first panel. All right? So that's the schedule that we've got for the next couple of minutes. So if you just hold tight, you probably got a couple of minutes if you want to get a cup of coffee, but you're going to want to come back and hear an awful lot about the investment that the state is making and the future that they see for this kind of technology for this state. Thank you very much.